Hey there, fight friends. We are joined today by Cesar Bonilla, a Canadian fighter who is heading a pretty big Canadian contingent down to Honduras next weekend to fight at UCC 83. Cesar, welcome for joining us.
Hi guys, thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. And I just said Cesar, but it's Cesar, right?
I got so used to Caesar by now that I just that's fine.
I think I said it both ways. Before we started, I was telling myself, okay, make sure you say Cesar, and then I said hi Cesar, and then I
Yeah,
said Cesar right afterwards. So that's I'm very white.
it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
So I was quite surprised when I saw that so many Canadians were going down to fight at UCC 83. Of course, you've had some experience down there. You were the first person. You went down and you've had two fights down there at UCC, and they're throughout Central America, correct? They're in Honduras this time, but they also fight in other countries. So how did you get involved with that organization?
So I've been in contact with Walter Luna for quite a bit. We're both Central American, right? So I had reached out to him. This was years ago about like how I like what he's doing down there, trying to grow the sport. And then this past summer, I decided to spend my summer in El Salvador, and I was there from June till September.
Is that
So
where your family background's from, El
yes, I'm
Salvador?
from El Salvador, yeah.
Okay.
And so I decided to just go down there, spend time with family. The intention was to try and find a place to keep myself active, train a little bit, right? So it ended up being like everything that I did down there because as soon as I got there, I found a jiu-jitsu gym. Then I started teaching there, and it just started snowballing. And then there was MMA event that was happening in El Salvador, Nemesis, which I was the main event for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it just happened. They approached me, hey man, do you want to fight on our card? Like we see that you have some pro fights, so we'd love to have you on it. I'm like, you know what? Why not, man? Like let's do it. And then
How much notice was that? How much
about
notice was
it
that?
was about 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks
Okay.
notice. Yeah, and then as soon as they announced that, um, Walter reached out to me and he was like, "Hey man, I wish you would have told me you were out here because I would have loved to have you on my show, but it's the very next week." And then he was like, "It was coming up quick." And then out of nowhere, he calls me again and he's like, "Listen, man," he's like, "I know it's only a week apart, but my main event just fell out. I need someone to replace the main event." So I was like, I told him, I'm like, if I'm not banged up from this fight, I'll come to Honduras and I'll do the fight, right? So
Yeah.
it was 1 week apart, and so thankfully I didn't get hurt during that fight, and I was on my way to Honduras the very next week, and I loved the experience. So I told him I definitely want to come back, and I went back in December, and our plan was to do this. This show was supposed to be in El Salvador, this UCC
Yeah.
83,
Yeah.
and
And
but
a month ago too, right?
yes, a
Like
month
last month.
ago.
Yeah.
But we were having issues with the federation in El Salvador. It just couldn't coordinate things, even though we had already like paid certain amounts to make the show happen. So we decided just to move it to Honduras, and that way we could keep the ball rolling. And a few of the guys here just started reaching out to me about getting them on the card. So I'm like, that could be a cool experience for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm going to read off the list of everyone going down with you. So
yeah,
it's Nick Felber, who's from Lethbridge,
yeah.
and then a whole bunch of Niagara top team people. We've got Danielle Lentini, Tisha Guthrow, Elias Leonardo, Clayton Pye, and Hannah Taylor. So that's kind of cool that you're sort of spearheading that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. And we also have Simon Plummer and Jay Kelly from Nova Scotia.
Oh, I didn't clock that. I need to check that out. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much for letting me know.
yeah. So we have them as well.
So we've met a handful of times before, maybe 5 or 6 times. We've had a couple brief conversations, but I don't really know you. Would you mind just talking about your training background? Like, were you born in Canada or El Salvador, and then how did you get started in combat training?
So I was born in Canada, but I moved to El Salvador when I wasn't even a year old yet. My parents decided to move back, and I lived there till I was 13 years old. and then we moved back here due to political reasons. El Salvador was
Mm.
in a very bad state at that point, and my parents thought the safest thing was to bring me to Canada. So then I almost immediately through a cousin of mine met Ainsley Robinson
Mhm.
from Toronto Top Team, and he brought me out to one of his wrestling sessions, and that's where I started my journey. When I was 13, I started wrestling with him.
Wow.
Wrestled throughout high school, university, and then midway through university there, I found jujitsu, and that was it for me. Like I was obsessed from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a legacy. I mean, Ainsley Robinson is no joke, man. He's a little bit old school, so maybe some of the new MMA fans don't really know who he is, but he's had a lot of success in the past, and he's represented Canada very well.
Yeah, Ainsley, he's the best coach out there. Anybody ever asked me where they can go train in Toronto, that's a spot, man, because his coaching style, if your aim is to be a competitor, that's the type of style that you want. He's very hard nosed type coach, but he cares about you as well. So he's gonna make sure to get the best out of you every single time, but he still shows you he cares, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's move back now down to Central America.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine that it's got to be a bit of a roller coaster for you because of course you've got strong roots to El Salvador, and sometimes when you think of Central America, they're kind of, as a Canadian, I don't really think individual about the individual countries too much. I sort of think in as just one general area, but of course they each have their own individual things for each country. The things they're known for, and different cuisines and different languages or different dialects anyway. It's got to be really cool for you to just go back there and know that you have strong roots there, and you're also a Canadian. So you know it's probably really cool just talking and meeting with the people and seeing the reaction, them thinking that you're like an El Salvadoran and you're coming back to El Salvador, in this case Honduras, and you're really highly trained from Canada, and you're coming and fighting in their country, in their neck of the woods. That's got to feel really great.
Yeah, it's really awesome, honestly, and the people down there are very welcoming, right? The guys here from Canada are gonna feel it too, even though some of them are fighting Honduran guys. The people down there like really take you in and make you feel welcome. In
Mm,
my case, it's even better because I'm from down there, so I'm
yeah.
I'm treated like the hometown guy regardless. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool feeling to just come down there, and it feels like a homecoming every time.
Now, when you went down there, you said you found a gym and you started actually teaching. What's the skill level like of just the general jujitsu practitioners down there, and more so the fighters? Are they as skilled as Canadian fighters, or not quite there yet?
I just think that they're still a little bit behind in the sense that they haven't learned how to mix it properly yet. You know what I mean? They're still like those guys who are just specialists at one thing, and they're kind of sort of learning everything else, right? The wrestling's definitely not something that's there, right?
Mm,
The jujitsu, I was shocked and surprised at the level. It was pretty good. In There's still certain things that they're not very proficient in, like the leg lock game and everything like that. But when it came to the actual jujitsu, I was like, oh man, like the level here is really good. So I thought I was just gonna go there and walk through everybody, but it was actually a really cool experience to see that
yeah,
these guys are actually like honing their skill really well, and boxing's always been huge over there. So there's really good boxers, right? So you're seeing a lot of those guys get into MMA because it's just a lot easier to get fights in MMA.
sure.
So I think within the next like 5 to 10 years, we'll see that area caught up to what we have here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And once the fans and the people start seeing other fighters like you and the other Canadians come down, they see the skill level. That's going to do nothing but incentivize them, I think, to just get excited and want to get back in the training room and learn more.
Absolutely. I think, and I was telling Walter from UCC that this is going to be kind of like um, a breakout show for us to to really show what we can bring to the table if we're able to bring out fighters from these areas here to fight guys over there. We already have like the next 2 3 cards set up where we have Canadians coming out, so
Wicked.
yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Now, I confess that prior to you joining UCC, I'm not sure that I'd ever heard of them before. I pay attention strictly to Canadian mixed martial arts and Canadian promotions. So everything else in the rest of the world, I might hear about it, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. Maybe you could tell me, prior to you joining them, was there much of a foreign influence in their events? Because this is their 83rd show, so they've been around for a while.
Yeah, so the most foreign influences within Latin America, right? So
Mm,
you get a lot of Colombians, Ecuadorians, anybody there from Central America, Mexico, right? We get a big influence from those countries, but very rarely has there been any foreigners like from out here, or
yeah.
or even Brazilians, because they have their own stuff going on. Actually, back in a little while ago, Tyson from Thick Boy actually fought on a UCC show, and but it was still, it wasn't very well known. But right now, like, my goal at least is to like really put the name of UCC out there. I'm coming to the end of my career as a fighter. Like, I probably won't fight past this summer. So after
Mm.
that, my goal is to just to grow the sport in my country, and bring more eyes to it, and hopefully uh, get some guys who from that area into the bigger leagues.
How old are you right now, Cesar?
I'm 39 and I'm turning 40 this summer.
Wow. Yeah, you're an
Yeah,
old man.
yeah, yeah. We're
Not
getting
quite, not really.
there.
It's all relative. So it's kind of cool. Like this might be a great opportunity for you. Just off what you've said so far, it sounds like you're already sort of becoming ingrained with UCC and becoming a part of it. Is that something? Would you ever want to be like a part owner, or is that an option for you, or something along those lines?
So that has been the talk that we've been having, and when it because there's UCC Honduras, which is Walter Luna, who's the president of it. Then we
Yeah, and
have,
UCC Latham.
yeah, and then we have um Ramphis, who's over in Panama, who's the main owner, right?
Mhm.
So the next market that we are trying to break into is El Salvador, where I'm going to be the president of it. And
Wow.
yeah, so I'm like really pushing to make this work, so that so again, I can, especially the way that El Salvador is right now. It's such a safe country. It's beautiful. I feel like it's a great place for fighters to come visit and feel like they can do anything they want in terms of like going out on the street, not worrying about getting robbed or anything like that. I think that
Mm.
El Salvador has the perfect environment for it. So I'm hoping that within the next year or so, I have at least my aim is to have 4 shows a year in El Salvador.
That's amazing. What is the amongst the El Salvadorian population? What is the general level of acceptance and knowledge of mixed martial arts? Because it took a long time to become established in North America.
Yeah, so because because it's sport, it's very um, well taken in by the people, and right now it's just like it's what everybody talks about over there. Whenever there's a UFC going on, like everybody's tuning in. Like the interest for it is really high, and you're seeing a lot of these younger kids who used to get soccer's the national sport in El Salvador, right? And it probably always will be. But now you're starting to see these kids like going into kickboxing and going into Muay Thai. You're seeing a lot of like kids going into jiu-jitsu, which is really cool. Jiu-jitsu is a little bit harder because the gis are expensive and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
So not everybody can afford to do jujitsu, which is something else that I'm trying to help with. Hopefully, get some gis donated into school so that kids can just join up and start training right away. But
Mhm.
you're starting to see a lot of these kids really getting into kickboxing and Muay Thai, and the interest for UFC is huge right now.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Sounds like an incredible opportunity for you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's move on. I'm going to take a look now and read the name of the guy you're fighting. You're fighting Luis Guzman. What do
Yeah.
you know about this guy?
So I was actually supposed to fight him 2 years ago. I was scheduled to fight him at UCC 2 years ago, but I fought Michael Asifo and I got knocked out and I got a concussion and I just couldn't make the trip anymore. So I had already studied him pretty well, and he's a tough guy, man. He's about an inch taller than me, I think, an inch or two taller than me. Big stocky dude. He likes to throw bombs and just that relentless Mexican pressure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think as soon as I take it to the ground, it's over.
Yeah, it seems to me like you're probably going to have a distinct advantage on the ground almost over almost everybody you'd fight down there.
Yeah, that's basically how it's going at the moment. Until the uh, the population down there catches up in the jujitsu,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like anybody who comes out here with a decent level of jujitsu is going to have quite the advantage.
awesome. All right, Cesar, is there anything that you think I should have asked you about that I did not ask you?
No, I think we covered it. I'm excited for everybody. I'm excited for everybody to come out and check out the show. I'm excited for the guys from such a big gym like Niagara Top Team and Tower One who are coming out to this smaller show. I know someone like Clay's had such a hard time finding fights out here. I can't
Mm-hmm.
blame him. Like he's a tough guy to fight. You know, I was one of his victims, but it's really great that we were able to make this happen for someone like him so that he can keep his career going. I know he's destined for the UFC, so I just want to create those opportunities so that, like, you know, I feel like there's too many guys like being left out of cards here that should be fighting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're absolutely right. There's a handful of fighters who have a really difficult time, and you know I feel for them. But this is great that they get an opportunity like this. So Cesar, thank you very much for speaking with us. And
Thank
fight
you.
friends, Cesar the Hulk Bonilla fighting at UCC 83 in Honduras next weekend.
Thank you guys.